Well, I'm here at the International Airport again in Pittsburgh, and of course there's the big X in the sky. I've been following this chemtrail thing for about 8 or 9 years now, and this is how it works. They make a big X in the sky. You can see it extends about 2 miles, and then off in the distance, here's a fresh one right above my head. And about a half an hour, it'll spread out and spread out and spread out, and it's like a checkerboard. This big X won't be there in about 45 minutes. And you can see off in the distance what it looks like. You have to wonder what they're doing. And this goes on almost on a daily basis. Today there's probably, I can count, yep, there's one right across from me. Right where the X is, you can see one coming across, making its 2-mile run. From what I understand, they're 2 miles long, and it just goes on all day. And they cover the entire sky. Over here to the left is sky they haven't touched yet. And right above me is the pencil thin line, and then like I said, it'll spread out. And then right next to it is a line that's been sprayed about an hour or so ago. Then right next to where it's like filmy white is blue sky, which we're supposed to have all day today. But right above my head is a perfect example of what a chemtrail looks like. Pencil thin at first, and then, like I said, it goes 2 miles, and then the next plane will fill in the blue spot over to the next to it, and then it just goes and goes and goes. And this is a worldwide thing. This isn't just over Pittsburgh. And over where the big X is, you can see where they're crossing another one's coming across the X now. And this is an everyday event. This is the second day in a row I've recorded this. You see it making its run over by the, not where the X is, but, and it's 2 miles. Just amazing. Amazing people don't notice it. Perhaps these videos will open your eyes to it, and maybe you'll research it. I notice I have a lot of friends. I just opened my Facebook account here, so I got about 50, 60 friends on here now, old friends from high school, and it's just amazing. Look, now see, now there's an X. There's an X. And then right next to the X, the guy just made his run across from the X. And here comes another plane right where the X is. One just came from right to left. And here comes another one right down the center where the X is now. And it's a checkerboard. See it forming out in the distance? That's an actual plane dropping chemicals. Now, there's different viewpoints. Some believe it's weather manipulation. The technical term we're coming up with now is called geoengineering. Oh, there's one over here making its run. But here comes one right above my head here. You should be able to get a good look at this. There's the X, and here it comes now, so it's making its run. I found out about this, I was, of all things, back when you were allowed to gamble online, I was playing a poker tournament with about 15,000 people in it. And I used to listen to talk radio, and one day one of the guests on the talk radio show was on for an hour, and he brought up chemtrails. And after I was done with my tournament, I got on there, and the video is called "What in the World Are They Spraying on Us?" It was a documentary. You can YouTube it and watch it. It still exists. Of course, just like anything else, you don't believe it. And then one day, a week later, I was getting my truck inspected, of all things, during the day. And a beautiful day, I sat on a park bench, looked up, and this is what I saw. It was about 8 years ago. Here's a plane coming across now. You can see it making its line. I got it right on there. And he's crossing, and look, it makes like a checkerboard. It's 2 miles long, maybe longer. And that's how I got involved in it. Now, me personally, I believe that it's actually happening. And I guess my concern is, of course, if you read my webpage or Facebook page, I got 2 little kids, and a lot of my old high school friends got kids older than mine and have grandkids, and it should be something that's eye-opening. The more people know about it, perhaps we could finally get answers to it. But here he goes crossing the T. See how long it is? And see how he's crossing over. You can see the pattern over there, and then he's right above my head, and he's crossing. Now, they'll say it's contrails, which is ice forming from the rear exhaust of the jet engine. But it should be shutting off here any minute. Like you're seeing the pencil line right now. This is a nice long one. This is a good example of what they do. And there it is, it crossed. There's the checkerboard. But he should be shutting it off here any minute. It's a pretty long one. And you see it spreads out. And it covers the whole sky. It looks like a film. There's another one. So as of right now, I count, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 airplanes above my head right now, above the International Airport in Pittsburgh, and they're all laying their lines. Now, everybody has theories about what it is, but and the chemicals they're dropping, I honestly believe they're damaging the environment. I'm sure people have heard about the beekeepers and beehives that people would do bees. They're collapsing, they're losing their bees. I talked to one beehive guy, and he says every single beehive, there was no bees in them. There were bees in them, and then there were no bees. And this has been going on for years now. And then I read an article about in the state of Pennsylvania, we lost 90% of our bat population, of all things. And it was called there's another one making its run. And they explained it as it was called white nose disease. It was like a white fungus. And the same with the beehives. But they never lump it all together and point to this as the cause of all the problems. But look, you can see in the sky. Right above my head's crystal clear, but you can see how it spreads out and spreads out. It's amazing. And like my hope is, I guess, is people research it on their own and come to their own conclusions. I notice a lot of my friends are in Florida, and this is all a worldwide thing. If you happen to look up one day and see this, maybe record it and do some research. And I placed a couple videos on my Facebook account, so and that's it. Bye.